So, Resident Evil 2 the remake. I just beat it, got it the day it came out, pre-order. Yeah, I'm a little late to the table. What are my thoughts on the game? Stay tuned. Upon initially booting it up, I was amazed. This is easily one of the scariest games I've ever played, and that says a lot because I don't scare easy. And although I was enjoying myself, certain things just didn't seem right. One of which is the beginning, which has a mini tutorial that's a little too handholdy where you explore the gas station. Then, when you get to the rush to the police station is underwhelming at best. You don't even meet John Kendo until much later, and I think it takes some of the punch out of the game because you meet Kendo, he owns a gun shop, he obviously can take care of himself, and he gets killed like that in the classic, and it just hammers home that you're never safe, and I think that affects the effectiveness of this not having that. Plus, you can easily just walk, not run, walk around all the zombies to get to the police station. When you get in, there's great setup. Things are familiar, but change just enough that if you've played Classic, if you're someone like me who's beaten the game, got the fabled S rank, even no saved run, that you're going to be still lost. So I appreciate that. And let's talk about the limited supplies. Okay, I get it. Survival horror. That's part of the game. Don't yell at me. Don't say I'm a noob that likes Resident Evil 4. Quite frankly, some of the younger people that might be watching this, I've probably been playing Resident Evil since before your parents met. But I go back to 98, 99 with Resident Evil. But anyway, here's where I take issue with the limited resource. Sometimes it takes 7, 8, 9 headshots to kill one zombie. I know they're trying to make a survival horror aesthetic, but zombie lore, shot to the head equals dead. I feel like maybe make the headshot harder to go for, but one headshot should drop the zombies, not 7, 8, or 9. I've developed a theory that the citizens of Raccoon City are required by law to have metal plates in their heads if they want to live there, and it's almost comical to the extent where you'll have zombies coming at you and you'll pump so many bullets into their head, it looks like their head's nothing but hamburger meat and they still come at you. So, yeah, maybe could have been done a little different. And other than that, it's a great creepy game, lots of atmosphere. Scary. I hate that they removed the spiders, mainly because I hate spiders in real life, and that would have made the game even scarier. I wanted to see those HD tarantulas in all their glory. I wanted to see the venom dripping from their fangs. The crows, I can kind of understand. You really would have been in trouble with a swarm of crows in this kind of game, because the old tank control games, it's kind of like aiming in classic Doom. You don't so much have to be spot on as just aim in the direction of what you're shooting at and it'll register as a hit. So the crows I can forgive. One cool thing they did is there's a boss battle in Resident Evil 2 Classic with a G mutant that William Birkin impregnated someone with. And it got to thinking, why is there just one? Because there was some time between his massacre of the security team and the outbreak. Well, when you get to the sewers, you see he's been infecting people, and there's a nest with these G mutants. There's walls of biomass. It's a great scene, and it looks and feels like something that would not be out of place in a Silent Hill game. That section is tense, plus the fact that some of them are under the water and can come at you. Great job. Another thing that kind of annoyed me is how the game handled Mr. X. In the original version, you could either run or fight him, and it gave you options, and if you fought him, you were always rewarded with something, be it some ammo or a first aid spray, something along that nature. This time, and I know it sounds like I'm ragging on the game, I really like this, but these things did bother me. The most you can do is hope the do is pop a butt ton of ammo in him and drop him to his knees, which, for the record, I strongly recommend if you haven't played this game yet, the library, clear it of zombies. I don't care how much ammo it takes. It's worth it, because there's a part in the library where you have to play Ring Around the Rosie with X, and it is so much easier if you kill the zombies. The lickers were phenomenal in this. I love that they even hump by sound. If you move slow enough, you can actually walk around them. Great job, Capcom. But this does give an issue when Mr. X is chasing you. You have to go into this one area and there's 2 lickers. Mr. X is chasing you, and when you get in there, you can't run because you have to walk past the lickers, because if you run, they're gonna hear you and attack you and maybe hit you with their one-hit death animation, or hit you and slow you down for X to grab you, so you gotta walk around them, but you can't walk around them because you gotta run because Mr. X is chasing you, but you can't run because the lickers will go. Lickers and Mr. X should not be in the same room, Capcom. Yeah, that part is just a epic fail. Ugh. But the thing is, he doesn't follow you through too much of the game. Another part I hate is he chases you for like 15 seconds when you play as Ada. And if you know what to hack, you have just enough time to do everything before he catches you, and you won't have to play Ring Around the Rosie with him, but again, that could have been handled a little better. The alligator segment, I think, is another letdown because it's just run, dodge, shoot this obvious gas line where, again, you're either, in the classic, you get a challenging and rewarding boss fight or a satisfying one-hit kill because you were smart enough to think on your feet and adapt. Overall, it's a great game. I like the character models. I didn't like some of them, especially Claire at first, but that one really grew on me. It's a great Claire model. My only nitpick, she should have had the red hair, but it's a great game. And another nitpick, the last 2 X encounters, the second to last one should have been done away with, where he busts through the glass in the lab. That should have been saved for the last encounter, when he shows up, why the lab is blowing up. It would have made for a more intense thing if the game allowed you to forget about him, and within the last few minutes of the game, he's chasing you again. But again, that's a nitpick. I do want to talk a little bit about the most recent DLC. Capcom gave the option where if you beat the game on various difficulties, S rank, you get stuff like unlimited ammo submachine gun, unlimited ammo rocket launcher, and unlimited ammo Gatling gun. The downside is, this is one of the hardest games I ever played, and not everyone is skilled enough to beat the game on those difficulties. So Capcom, for $5, you can purchase that content via DLC, and I've seen some negatives about this, but I'm going to be clear, if you're good enough to unlock that stuff, this DLC is not for you. This DLC is for the people like me, per se, that will never be good enough to do that, but can now have fun with those glorious items. So, I, for one, thank you, Capcom. That's a cool, non-intrusive DLC. What would have been a cheap move is if that was the only way to get those items. And upon beating it, you get second run and you unlock the classic costumes, which I'm gonna say classic Leon looks good in this game. Claire's classic outfit, not so much. It's like something just didn't work with it, but overall, the Resident Evil 2 remake, William Birkin, with the exception of his runner form, every form looks better than it did in the PS2 version, and I don't mean just graphically, I mean design. I prefer this game's style design for Mr. X, but I think this game's Super Tyrant is drastically inferior. He just has one claw arm instead of two, and he looks more mangled. Look at the classic Resident Evil 2 Super Tyrant. It looks so much more menacing. But my final rating for this game is an A. With reservations. No, this game may be too hard for you, and if you're an average gamer at best, I'd recommend spending the $5 on the Unlock bonus content DLC. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought of Resident Evil 2 Remake in the comments below, and keep it coming, Capcom. Mega Man 11, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Devil May Cry 5. You guys are doing awesome. It's great to see you return to glory. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Over and out.